Easy way could save money. Go to Geico.com. Geico.com, 15 minutes can save you 15%. Well, you know, it's weird when you are running an NBA franchise, the personnel part, and a star comes to you and says, hey, I don't want to play here. You can get angry, you can get mad, or you can just trade him and get the most pieces possible. David Griffin's the executive vice president of basketball operations. Worked for the Clippers for Suns, for 17 years. Was GM in Cleveland. They won that title. So Anthony Davis says, "I want out," and they have engineered a deal. I don't think I've ever seen an NBA team make more moves. From Derek Favors to J.J. Redick to the draft picks to Zion to my sleeper in the NBA draft, Jackson Hayes, who I think is the sleeper in the NBA draft within about 2 years. It's also Josh Hart. Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram. In a football city, it will be impossible to keep your eyes off the NBA franchise. And joining us from the Summer League, it's our pleasure via the Coward Global Satellite Network to David Griffin. David, first of all, congratulations. It's been remarkable. It's been fun. Listen, when a star comes to you and says, I don't want to play here, again, it's brutal. But you made it work. When you knew Anthony wanted out, what were the next 48 hours like for you?
Yeah, I think we were in a situation, and we said from the beginning when we held our press conference, you're either all the way in or you're all the way out. It was very clear that he was not all the way in, basically throughout the summer. We had very good conversations. Anthony asked really good questions. But when it was clear he wasn't with us, Mrs. Benson and our ownership group and myself and our basketball team, we recognized that it was time to move on, and we tried to create the best opportunity for ourselves we could, and we're very, very pleased with the way everything unfolded.
Yeah, you have a very nice mix of veterans. I know what I get with JJ, Drew Holiday, Derek Favors. Now, it's interesting. I love Zion. I think he's magnetic. He has a Magic Johnson appeal where I think veterans will embrace him immediately. There's no resent here. He's a wonderful kid. But the current culture of basketball is you draft guys, they're 18 years old. They got a lot of room to grow emotionally. What do you like about Zion, and where is the growth for him in your opinion?
Well, I think going back to Alvin Gentry and I, the night of the lottery, the NBA had arranged for us to sit with Zion that night. So 9:30 following the lottery, we had a chance to sit with Zion. And we were so taken with him as a kid in probably the first 20 minutes of the conversation that we asked if his parents were there. And he had his parents come down, and we sat together as a group for about an hour and a half. And it was really striking to us that his family has raised him to be all about team, to be all about others, and to be all about the right things. This is a great kid. He's a warm kid who cares about his teammates. He recognizes this isn't about him. He wanted to be part of a family. And so we told him that night, when you choose us, we choose you. And we're going to raise a family that loves each other enough to tell each other what they need to hear. And he wanted that. It's why he went to Duke. It's what he appreciated about Coach K's leadership. It's who we wanted to be natively. So we feel like it's a really good fit.
Well, I can't wait to watch him play. Now, here's the downside. Everybody in the West apparently got better. You could have a very good basketball team, but could still end up 9th or 8th. Listen, Dallas is loaded. I don't know if they stack up. What is the timeline? How do you sell patience? How long do you think this thing takes to really pop, David?
Yeah, and in terms of timing, we're not going to put a timeline on it. I don't think we want to limit ourselves either. You know, what we wanted to do with the veterans that we brought in, who were all extremely selfless, all about winning first, from JJ's standpoint, a very vocal leader who's going to model all of the right things professionally. It lines up very well with who Drew Holiday is. Drew's the face of this franchise, and we're going to go as far as Drew and our veterans take us. Zion's going to be contributing to that, as are all our young kids, but this is not something where we expect him to be the one leading us there. We expect our leaders to lead us there, if that makes sense. And yeah. I think when you look at what we have the potential to be coming into free agency, we looked around the West and we said, tell me who's clearly better than we are. And then everybody started making their moves, and you can start to see that it's going to be a tough road to hoe, but you can't raise young players, in our opinion, in an environment where winning doesn't matter. We want to be playing meaningful games in April and May, and we hope to put ourselves in that position.
By the way, you have worked with LeBron. He trusts you. He likes you. Rich Paul, we know as well. You know, LeBron is in the Muhammad Ali class. I said this earlier, Megan Rapinoe, where he's not just a star. He's political. He's a disruptor. He's a dissenter. He is global. He sees the world differently. And there are those who have said, listen, not everybody wants to get into that space. It's just noisy and it's dramatic. When you were with LeBron, obviously you won a title with him. You got a big ring. Are there challenges to being with a modern day superstar who is also more than just an athlete?
Yeah, I think so, and it's because of the noise around him. It's not noise that he generates. It's because you have embedded national media with his team always. There's always going to be more coverage. There's more interest. There's more social media. Obviously, the things he does that get taken as cryptic tweets and people claim he's passive-aggressive. LeBron's not that. He's aggressive, and you always know where you stand with LeBron. So his teammates, if you're able to help them ignore the noise, all are in a space where they feel pretty good around it. Where the lack of comfort comes in is from people like me who want to try to control more of that noise. And frankly, you just have to get comfortable in your lack of comfort because you're never going to control the noise. You just have to be appreciative of the fact that he's about all the right things. And at the end of the day, he wants to win. And I think the reason we had a good relationship was he understood that our recognition of our role really is caretaking for that legacy. You know, 100 years from now, everybody knows Babe Ruth. They don't know who cost him World Series. You're going to know who cost LeBron championships, and we didn't want to be that group.
Finally, when you executive types walk around and you see Jerry West, who at 81 just pulled off another shocker, how is Jerry viewed among executives?
Well, I mean, he's the gold standard, obviously. I think we all have a very keen awareness of the fact that if you can ever model any of the things he's done in his career, you would want to. I think having had the opportunity at one time to meet Jerry and actually have him offer me the job to replace him in Memphis, he holds a really special place in my heart personally. But everyone who does what we do in this business look at ourselves and hope that one day we can achieve anything that he has, because there's just no better than Jerry.
Yeah, by the way, we've got video of you. I went through my first earthquake last Thursday, and I've got video of you. You had a very similar reaction. What in Lord's name is going on? Was it your first earthquake experience, David?
No, that's the thing. It's why my reaction was so profound, was because the day before, during our film session, we were interrupted in the film session by the chandeliers swaying and light bulbs falling out of them at the conference room we were in. So we had to all run for the doorway. So I was actually, when that happened, I started looking up thinking, oh boy, which one of these fixtures is coming down?
Congratulations. You've done a remarkable job. You've got my favorite young player on the earth in Zion. Good for you, David Griffin. Congrats.
Thank you so much, Colin. Appreciate it.
Yeah, what a job he's done. Just a tremendous job. Pelicans are, again, I don't know if they're a playoff team, because you start looking around the West right now. If they played in the East, I'd ticket them for a 6-7 seed. But, wow. So he was shocked like I was. Both of us a little. He looked more under control than me during the earthquake, though. I looked frightened.
Well, I can see what he's talking about if he knew that stuff could fall. I mean, obviously, you're looking up.
I was looking for help.
I mean, I don't understand why you thought someone was moving your desk.
Well, I've moved a lot in my career. I figured another company wanted to get rid of me. I mean,
someone's just going to come up on set while you're doing a show and just, like, you got to go. You're out of here.
Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.